Shalom. Man, when sometimes we have a lot on your plate and you feel like, I don't feel like dealing with that today. Leave that alone. But then the spirit of the Most High requires you to deal with it today. So I'll put it like this. Acts 5:29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey Elo rather than men. So I got to obey the Most High even above myself. But then that's not really the purpose I was saying that. A lot of, when you have you ever been at church, so-called, what they call the church, the building, and the men there tell you, well, all authority is ordained by Elo. And if you disobey that authority, you disobeying Elo. Now, I beg to offer the question. Has all authority been ordained by Elo, or has some authority been hijacked in the pretense to represent Elo? I'm going to read some scriptures and let it speak. And then if I have anything to tell you after that, I'll add it if I'm led to say something. This is Romans 13:2-4. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of Elo, and they that resist shall receive themselves damnation. For the rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the powers? And then I will also say, okay, let me go there, because I don't want to go before. Do that which is good, and thou shalt praise have praise of the same. For he is a minister of Elo to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is a minister of Elo, a revenger, to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. John 14:15. If you love me, keep my commandments. Keep that in mind. Deuteronomy 25:1. If there be a controversy between men, and they come unto judgment, that the judges may judge them, then they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. Romans 13:1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there is no power but of Elo, and the powers that be are ordained of Elo. Okay, that's the word. That is the law. Now we'll go to those who say they are the law, but they telling you for the record that they're not. They're telling you they're not the law, but if you believe it, that's on you. Okay, this is basically what they're saying. Title 28 U.S.C. 3002, Section 215. The United States is a corporation and not a government. They're telling you that plainly. So did the Most High ordain that? Or is that a hijack? World, this is the Act of 1871. There is no standing authority in the so-called, because first of all, a corporation cannot have a Congress, cannot have anything. Not a corporation. It's just a corporation. So, but right here it says, Congress passes an act to provide a government for the District of Columbia, also known as the Act of 1871. With no constitutional authority to do so, Congress creates a separate form of government for the District of Columbia. A 10-mile square parcel of land. See Acts of the 41st Congress, Section 34, Section 3, Chapter 61 and 62. Okay. There's more to that. Research for yourself. But I'm just trying to be obedient and cover this question of be obedient to the higher powers. Is that to trap you into a servitude, or is that to make you obedient to fiction, or is that to make you obedient to the Most High Elo, or is that a form of deception that people use to slave people? What is the color of law? The appearance or semblance without the substance of legal right. McCain versus Des Moines, 174 U.S. 108 19 SUP Court. So on and so on. What is the color of authority? The semblance or presumption of authority sustaining the acts of a public officer with a which is derived from a parent title to the office or from the writ of other process in his hands apparently valid and regular. Okay, let's go. I have one more. Find that. All right. So let me ask you this. This is just a question. How is it possible that Elo says, and I'm not Elo, so I'm just presenting this question. If he says, if you love me, keep my commandments, and he always saying, keep my commandments, and then he also clarified who those who are in his sight eligible to give judgment according to his judgment. Those are his people who he has called to be his priests and ministers on this earth, the powers that he calls his powers. But first of all, you must be qualified because you must be one who is keeping the commandments and not breaking them. Not intentionally. So why would he hold us, his people, who is called by his name, accountable to keep his commandments, and then ordain a system which has told you itself it's not a government, that you keep its commandments or keep its ordinances because it don't have laws because it's a corporation? So why would he tell you and me? And I'm not telling you to do nothing. I'm just putting it out there according to what I'm reading. So, and my right to question and to think. So why would he ordain a system who has told you it is not a government but a corporation? And basically, most of the things that corporation does is for mammon, what they call money, fiat, because there's no gold and silver has been basically banned, so to speak. And the Most High said gold and silver is his money, and that has a double meaning: the literal money and his people. So if that corporation has no interest in keeping any commandments or leading anybody else into keeping any commandments of a Most High sovereign being, its whole and total purpose is to make so-called money. And following a sovereign being is not only within its interest, but following a sovereign being will probably prevent you from doing certain things that makes money. So, that being said, you research and think for yourself and look up for yourself. I'm just saying that I think people should put another interpretation on that scripture. Cause especially even people that say they are ministers in the church who tell you that it's saying that he created that corporate system. And man, I need to find the scripture. I just put it down. Man, let me see what I do with it. Gotta be right here somewhere. And the Most High don't put nothing more requirements on you and me and those who believe in him than he puts on himself. So this is why he said this here. Revelation 21:27. And there shall in no wise enter into it, this is the New Jerusalem, and there should in no wise enter into it anything to defile it, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or make it a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. So you take that for how you take it, and I believe the Most High Spirit that lives in you will lead you into the spirit of truth, will lead you into the truth. And that's not a judgment. That is just spreading the word, and I'm just being obedient to the Spirit because I really didn't even want to deal with it. But it's better to follow the commandments of the Most High and do what he say over what man says. All right. Shalom.